differences between the platforms, as well as how-tos of posting content, making sure that you see more content from UEG and how to best engage with others and get your message across. And then last but not least, I will cover how you can help UEG, which is really the most important aspect of this presentation. For us, our boards and committee members are everything for us at the UEG Secretariat. We, of course, are very grateful for everything that you do and contribute. And we would really appreciate to have your assistance and your knowledge online as well in the social media realm to help share our content and spread awareness of the messages, and also to add your own thoughts on top of that. So not just, here I support this, but saying, here's why this session is relevant for you. Here's this new educational offer that I think individuals from throughout Europe or from this specific area would really benefit from. So for those who are just now joining, again, please ask questions via the chat at any time. Also, just so you're aware, today's presentation will be recorded and sent to you afterwards. So if you'd like to take notes, you're welcome to, but it's not necessary. You can go back and revisit any point that you may have not fully understood. And I will also send a copy of this presentation, because there are several helpful links within it that you can then access at your convenience. So my analogy for social media, the way I would like to present it to you, is as being half your personal stage and half an ongoing networking event. And so what I mean by that is that you can think of it on one hand as a way for you to communicate at any time. The mic is always on. It's really your platform that whenever you have a thought, an idea, something that you would like to share with others, you can just really step up and post anything, whether it be something fun or something you would like to promote from your hospital or university, or perhaps the Congress is coming up and you have a session and you'd like others to be aware of it. You want to support a fellow of yours, really anything you like. It's always available and waiting for you. It's really at your convenience, so you can come and go as you like. And then the other half is an ongoing networking event. And what I mean by that is that it's not just about saying what you have to say. It's also about really connecting and engaging with others. And so that's through making connections on LinkedIn, having friends on Facebook. It's really the opportunity for you to get to know others and influence others, even if you're quite far away, or maybe you don't know them as well in day-to-day life. But it's something that should be thought of as fun, not as a burden or anything like that. You can also come and go as you like, which is nice. It's not that you always are in this event, but it's just an opportunity for others to learn from you and to engage with you, and for you to offer your support and to network with each other. So now we move on to the first platform. And so this is the first of the cheat sheets, if you will, that I've compiled for you. And so here I've highlighted some of the key words that I hope will help you associate them with the platform name to better understand their purpose. Today we'll cover 4 of the main social media platforms that we feel are the most beneficial for you to interact on, which are Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And of course, you're welcome to share all of our content there whenever you have time and whenever you see fit. And yes, they're all important, but they do all have their own kind of style or flavor. So for Twitter, the words I've chosen to help you remember it a bit more is that you can tweet. That's the word for when you post anything. You can tweet or chirp like a bird. So in other words, type or write as often as you'd like. So on some platforms, for example, on Instagram, which is the photo sharing, you might not want to post all of the time. If you are at an exciting event, you maybe don't want to post 20 photos in one day. It'll be a bit much for that platform. But on Twitter, it's really encouraged that if you have anything you'd like to say, you don't need to hold back. I mean, there is a character limit, but you are welcome to tweet several tweets in a row if you feel like bringing up something for a discussion, or if you see post from others that that you would like to engage with or say something to, that's really encouraged. It's very common for people that are quite active on Twitter to really put out a lot of content in one day, or if there's an event going on the event day. So their motto from the company is even to join the conversation. So it's really just encouraging that you get there, get involved, and get your points across, as well as add your input to others, to what other people have said. And as a note for you, Twitter is more of a professional platform of the four. So in the realm you will be using it for related to just digestive health, you can of course still joke around, but it is a bit more professional of the four. The next cheat sheet is for Facebook. And so the words I've chosen for you there to try and remember it is fun with familiar faces. And it's the concept of really bonding and sharing. And so across all of them, you can of course share photos and videos, but Facebook is more photo and video related, and it's more casual. So it's really where liking started from. I mean, now you can like posts across all platforms, but if you think of the thumbs up and the like, that really stemmed from Facebook. So it's the idea of being together with others and showing that you enjoy what they're doing, or that you have thoughts about it by liking others, as well as posting a fun photo or an exciting update if you're at a boards and committee meeting, if you're at UEG week, if you're at another congress, or things like that. You have an article you'd like to share with others, that's where you can do it. And the motto for this is connect with friends, family, and other people that you know. So that's where you make friends as the term for connecting with others, and it's a mutual connection where then you can interact with others. And the next platform is LinkedIn. So for that, I'd like to stress that you link with others professionally. And this is even more so than Twitter, a really professional platform. You can think of it almost as a living and breathing CV. It's really your location to showcase yourself, what you've accomplished in terms of volunteering, your academic background and professional background. And it's very good to be confident there. You don't need to be modest and think, I'm listing too many things. It's very helpful actually if you state what you've done there, because then it shows your credibility as someone at your level, that if someone sees, okay, you've shared a UEG post, then they can view your profile and just quickly look through it, and then see automatically, okay, this person is in these roles, and I'm interested in connecting with them and hearing what they have to say. So the motto for LinkedIn is manage your professional identity as well as engage with your professional network. And just as said, it's more of a professional platform of the four. And then last but not least of the four social media platforms that we will focus on today is Instagram, which is, as it sounds, instant. So you can think of it as instant images and videos. And it's really the most photo and image based platform of all of them. You don't have the option to post just text or to share just an article. It's really almost a virtual photo book that you're able to scroll through and see in your feed what people are doing. And it's heavily visual. It's very, it's a nice platform. It's more for the younger demographic in terms of who's on it, but we still think that your presence there would be beneficial as well. It's more of a casual platform, so it's not formal at all. It's really just for letting people see what you're doing and what you're engaging with, what's happening. And for this one, I strongly recommend only using it via the app. So of course, for every platform, there's an app. For all of them, if you're more comfortable using the desktop browser, for all of the others, that's completely fine. It might even be more useful sometimes because you have the full keyboard and you can access other online items. But for Instagram, it really is designed to be used as an app, and you won't be able to access all the features if you use it in the browser. And it's also just almost defeats the purpose, because the point of it is to really be able to quickly snap a photo or upload a video and then have it with you in real time. And so that would come, of course, from your phone or from your albums on your phone. So yeah, I would recommend using it as an app. Their motto is a simple, fun, and creative way to capture, edit, and share photos and video messages. And this is also the platform where, in case you've heard the word story before, which I'll get into more later, this is really where stories come from and where they're the most relevant. But we will get more into detail on that later. And now, on to the social media vocabulary. The first item is a post or a tweet. And so these two words are synonymous with each other. So they are, they mean the same thing. It just varies depending on the platform where you're seeing it. So a post is relevant for every platform, and it just means content uploaded on social media. And the term post is really, it's relevant for everything that you upload. So it can be text, it can be URLs or images or videos. It doesn't relate to the specific content. It just really means something that you yourself have composed and then intentionally uploaded onto one of the platforms. The word tweet is specific for Twitter. So that's the only platform that it would be used on, but it means the same thing. And then the next terms are sharing, retweeting, and quote tweeting. And so by doing this, you're sharing a post from another user to your own newsfeed, as well as with your own followers. And you can also additionally add your own thoughts to it. So just to clarify, sharing and retweeting, they're the same. Retweeting is related to Twitter. Everything Twitter related more or less has the word tweet in it. It's an easy way to remember. And quote tweeting is slightly different. So that gives you the option to add your own text on top of it. If you click just retweet on Twitter, or if you click just share on Facebook or LinkedIn, and then just go next, it will automatically repost whatever the content from someone else is. So if you see, I don't know, UEG has posted the latest mistakes in article and you think I'd like to share this, then you click share and then it's up. But if you quote tweet it or you choose to add additional text to it, then you're saying, okay, here's the latest mistakes in, and you can say, this looks great. I really recommend to my colleagues that focus on the liver to have a look at this. And you could maybe even tag one or two of them so that then they see it. And profile is the next term, and that is a collection of all of your posts and shared content on the specific social media platform. And again, just to reiterate for anyone who's joined a bit later, please ask questions at any time via the chat button. If there's anything I mentioned that you don't understand or you'd like to add on, please feel free to. And there will also be time for questions at the end. So yes, back to profile. That's really where people can see everything that you have posted or uploaded. It's also where your profile photo and your biography will be. So it's where people can go to find out a bit more about you. It's also where you can go. You can view the profiles of others to see more about them, or not just for people, you can view the profiles of organizations as well. So for example, UEG has a profile and you can access that to find out more. Hashtags are here, this symbol. Yes, Julia.
So do you have a Twitter account for each, say, commission, so that you would say there's one for the UEG president, there's one for the chair of the research committee or something like that, that it's not personalized, but added to a specific function within the society?
No, we don't have that. We do encourage boards and committee members to have their own account, and then you have the option to list in your bio what your role is. So for example, Axel on Twitter, I believe he has listed there that he's the UEG president. And then we do make sure when our members have accounts to actively tag them in anything that's relevant for them. So then they have the ability to share or retweet it or react to it so that others see. But at this time, we don't create accounts specifically for the roles and then alternate the individuals. It's more of a personal account that people create.
But would that be an idea to have that attached to the function within the society?
Yeah, that actually is an interesting idea. I haven't heard that before, and I have my team lead Kati here. I don't know if we ever had that in the past.
I mean, I just know that Facebook and Twitter encourage to use private profiles and private accounts. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always, of course, an option for you to set up 2 accounts. For example, some of our colleagues even do that. They have a private account and an official work account. But I just know Facebook and Twitter and those platforms, they actually don't encourage that, because it really should be just one you. And I also don't think to create post accounts would be the way to go forward for UEG, because it still should be a personal thing. Of course, it's public, and I think Ruby is going to mention that a bit later. Of course, it's going to be seen by the public, but I still think it should be Julia Meyerle's account and not UG Scientific.
Yeah, but you could have that Julia Meyerle scientific chair, a chair of the scientific committee, and then if somebody else takes over the position, it would be Herbert Tilk, chair of the scientific commission, because basically what you would do with this account is tweeting and advertising UEG. And it might be even good if that is apart from your, say, other daily business or professional life, because Axel might have some other interesting projects ongoing he would tweet or describe, which might be rather related to the German Society of IBD, just as an example.
Yeah, no, I do understand your point, but I also understand what Katja is saying. And I think the best solution for this would be that you or Axel, or whichever boards and committee member, has their own profile, which is public. And then you can, of course, do with it what you like. It's not that it has to be that you only tweet or post UEG related content, but when you put anything out related to UEG or that you'd like us to be aware of, then we would encourage you to use our hashtags and to tag us, so then we see it and are notified and can share it to our community. And then any other projects, of course, that's great, and that's even encouraged. So people can follow you from every field that they find exciting that you're involved in. It doesn't have to be just exclusive. And then if Axel were tweeting something that's only specific for individuals in Germany, then he could tag them, or he could just not tag UEG, and then we wouldn't specifically engage with that from the UEG platform, but it's still great for all of his or your followers.
I think Axel wants to say something about that.
So
I think it may be a good idea, as you had suggested, but I see the advantage if you have your private account, everybody has different followers and friends and whatsoever, so you reach out to a different community. And if you have UEG with like 10 committees, you have 10 different accounts, and then a lot of people would get bored to get UEG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and something would be the same. So a general UEG account is probably, and perhaps one for the week, because this may be different, may be sufficient in my personal view.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I understand what you mean. And I think another point of why it's useful for people to have their own account is that then we can say, our President Axel has these thoughts, and we can actively tag him and show his name. And I think it's a good suggestion. I appreciate your input, Julia, and I understand it, but I think at this time it's more beneficial to have people still have their personal accounts that are associated with them, because then also should someone create a new account and develop a strong following, which is really the goal of this webinar, even if people already have accounts, to increase their following by increasing their understanding and their activity, that you can then keep that with you, even if you're no longer in the same role with UEG, and you can keep your same, as Axel said, friends and followers that may be interested in you for reasons other than UEG. And also, just to clarify, I'll get to that a bit later, but the word private profile is a bit confusing. So I actually request that everyone please have all of their social media platforms public, so that way we can more easily share your content with others. So I think the word I'd like to use is a personal profile, So that means your profile on whichever platform that is yours that you could share your thoughts and ideas from, but actually please don't make it private, because then if I go to share something as UEG on Twitter, on Facebook, it's very limited of who I can share it to, or it may, depending on which platform, say, actually, I don't even have the option to share it, which is a pity. If you tweet something very nice that would be beneficial to our community, then others can't see it. So I hope that helps answer the questions for now. Please, raise your hand at any time, write in the chat at any time you have anything else. So the next point is, yes, hashtags. That's the next vocabulary word. And so you can see the symbol here, and these you can include in your own posts and use them as well to find topics. So for example, hashtag UEG week, and I'll get to later all of our official hashtags. So these are really great because it's how we can spread awareness. People can click on them, or you can click on them to see all of the results of any post where anyone has used that hashtag. With the hashtags and with the following item, the usernames and social media handles, it's very important to be careful with the spaces. So there should actually be no spaces related to the hashtags in between the wording or the @ sign, because if you say hashtag UEG space week, then it won't work as it should. And you're welcome to use hashtags on every social media platform. We personally don't use them on Facebook, as it's the least beneficial platform for them. It's not really, they were designed more for Twitter, and then they've spread to Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you would like to use them on Facebook, if you're happy to just copy and paste text to the different platforms, you can, but it's not as important on Facebook as it is, for example, on Twitter. That's where it's the most important. And then next is the social media handle or username. And so you can use the @ sign to tag people and to get in contact with them. For example, my UEG, and you can also use it to notify others. Yes, Julia.
Can I ask a very stupid question?
So
what is the difference between Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah.
I mean, or what do I use Twitter or Facebook for?
Yeah. So I think you joined a bit later. So I'll send a recording of the presentation afterwards, because I did cover it. Is that okay for you? Yeah, okay, perfect. And then I'll also get more in depth into how the different platforms work. Okay, so yes, your social media handle and username, everyone has one. You have your own. If you're creating an account, then please think about what your handle is. It's great if it's your name or first name, last name, something simple. If your name is taken maybe with a 1 or with something from your university, would be great. And the next term is about the newsfeed, feed, and timeline. Is there a question?
No, just Shanina has to leave, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining. And as I said, I'll send a recording of the presentation afterwards. So you're welcome to watch it anytime. So yes, these words are all synonymous: newsfeed, feed, and timeline, and they can be seen via your homepage. They only vary depending on the platform, but they all mean the same thing. And what it means is that it's your starting page, so your homepage, and it's where you can access all items, as well as a collection of recent social media posts that are somewhat in reverse chronological order. So the most recent items will be at the top, but in the more recent years, how things are displayed has shifted slightly. And now there are lots of algorithms in place, because a few years ago, it used to be that really if someone posted something 1 minute ago, to the top, 5 minutes ago, but now it's changed, and the algorithm is also based on who and what you engage with the most, as well as what you don't engage with. So if you have maybe you have your brother or sister and a close friend that you like their post often, or some organizations, for example, UEG, that you are frequently engaging with, their posts will then be higher up in your feed based on that. And we'll get to later the way that you can mark UEG as a favorite on Facebook, so that you're always seeing our posts towards the top, no matter what is going on. Next is followers, friends, and connections. And so these are individuals that have chosen to follow you on your social media account and will now see everything that you post and share. And this varies slightly depending on the platforms. On Facebook and on LinkedIn, it's mutual. So your friend or your connection, if you connect with someone, you both can see each other. Whereas on Twitter and on Instagram, you may have many more followers than the amount of people you're following. It's not mutual, but we encourage you to follow people back if you're interested in what they have to say. Likes and comments, you're probably familiar with. So that just allows you to see how many individuals like your posts or are interested in them. And it's also important to like and comment on the posts of others that you enjoy, to engage with them or to add your input. And a story is a post, but it's only available for 24 hours. And that's the most relevant on Instagram. So you've already seen these, but just to briefly touch upon them, these are the official UEG hashtags that we encourage you to please use. And again, there should be no spaces. So between the hashtags, if you say hashtag UEG week and then hashtag ingest the best, you can of course put a space between those two, but there should be no space between the hashtag and the start of it or any of the words within it in order for it to fully work as it should. And you're welcome to use them as much as you like. Sorry, I signed out. I'm not sure why. Can everyone still see and hear me? Okay. Okay, great. Sorry about that. We have a few office accounts that we share. So if I disappear, I'll be right back, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Yes, so these are the official accounts. You can use, of course, UEG Week whenever it's relevant. And then there are some more specific ones. UEGJ is for the journal and so on. Please don't use the hashtag UEG, because that is not one of our official hashtags. We do encourage you, in addition to using the hashtags, to please also always tag us, because then that way we're notified and we can see any post you put out, and then we can share it and react to it to help spread the word and engage with the community. As a reminder, as I mentioned earlier, the public profile is very important so that everyone can see your content, whether or not they're following you, and so that then I can also share on, I say I, but I mean UEG, I, on behalf of UEG, can share your content to all of our followers and they can gain your input and insights. So to begin with, I will go a bit more in depth on the platform of Twitter, and I will send the PowerPoint presentation afterwards, so you are able to access all of the links within this. So as it says here, you can click this link if you need help creating a Twitter account. The first item that I will go through is how to check your timeline, which is done from your homepage. So as said, your timeline is synonymous with your feed, and that's really your content that you see that's from those that you follow. So you can see here, it's outlined the home. You can always see it when you're at home. And then here, for example, is a tweet from Jan Krau. And so this is technically your timeline here. It's all the content of others. And as a note, the more people that you follow, the more posts that you will see. And that applies to all platforms. So if you're new to any of the platforms, or if you haven't been very active previously, I would encourage you to, of course, follow UEG, it's most important, but also follow friends and peers and accounts that you find interesting to then repost from them and keep up to date. This is your Twitter profile. This is what it will look like. It's just an overview, and it's also a good reference for all platforms, as they will more or less be similar. So here at the top, this is a header or a cover image. So this is something you can put anything that you find interesting there, or just a simple color, really whatever you like. And then here below it is your profile picture. So you can upload any photo you have, maybe from your CV or something like that. And then just below it is your name and user handle. So here you can write just your full name, and then this with the @ is the handle. So as I said, you can use your first name or last name, something just simple so people know it's you. And then below this is your bio or your biography. And here you can say, as Julia mentioned, here is where you would write, I am the UEG official XXX, whatever is your role. So Axel has, I believe he's the UEG president, and you're of course also welcome to list any other roles that you have in terms of where you work, what your background is. You could say something fun as well. It's really up to you, but this is the place that you, it would be good for you to mention that you are a UEG boards and committee member. And also include, yeah, he has here interests, and then he's hashtagged some of them. So that's very good. More people will see that. And he's also a UEG ambassador, which is great. They're very helpful for us on social media. They share our content. And then the next point is another overview of the profile. This is UEG's profile, and it just shows the different options of what you have. So in the top, you can use that search bar to search peers, colleagues, and hashtags. And then over here on the left, you can check your Twitter notifications and direct messages there. So direct messages are private. Notifications is anything having to do with people who've interacted with you, liked anything, retweeted anything, that will all be there. It has the little bell symbol. And then here is where you can create your own tweet, which is the most important thing. I've listed here that there is a 280 character limit, and that also includes spaces and links. If you put a link, that will take away as well. But as said earlier, Twitter, you can really say as much or as little as you like. So even though the amount of text you have is quite small, you can post several tweets in a row. If you're discussing something, that's completely fine and actually encouraged. So don't feel limited by that. You can include as well up to 4 photos or 1 photo or GIF there. And here, as I said earlier, on Twitter, it's not a mutual following of each other. So we have more followers than the amount of people that we are following, which is completely okay. But we do suggest that you, from time to time, check on who's following you and follow them back if you would like to. Here is a breakdown of a tweet. So you can see at the top is a hashtag, hashtag UEG Week. Here are people who are tagged by their Twitter handle. So that's Axel and Helena tagged here. And then we also have a URL link as well as a video below. And this is quite a complex tweet. You are more than welcome to tweet however you like. If you would like to start with just text or just 1 photo and a few words, that's completely fine. This is just a more detailed one to give you an example. And here below, so this up here is the tweet itself. This is one that we tweeted. And then these symbols here can be seen on every tweet, and it shows, I'll show you quickly what they mean. So this bubble here, this top bubble, is to tweet your reply. So this is on Twitter, it's not a comment in the same way that it would be on Facebook. It's actually creating a new post in response to whichever post you click on. So this can be great if you want to say, looking good, Helena, I can't wait to see you virtually at the week. Or if you want to tag others, really whatever you like, you can just click tweet your reply, and then you will get your own new tweet based on that, and it will be directly associated with this tweet. This symbol here is for retweeting or quote tweeting. And so this I also mentioned earlier, the difference between the two, when you click on it, you'll get both options. So retweet is an instant share. It's that as soon as you click it, the content is immediately just reposted exactly as it is to your profile. And quote tweet gives you the option to add text on top of it. So it's a new tweet that shows this within it. So you can, yes, using that, you can say whatever you like. And then the heart is self-explanatory, that's a like. So if you enjoy the content, but you don't feel the need to say anything, that's a good option. Next, we will cover Facebook. And again, here's a hyperlink that you can click if you need help creating an account. So here I show you how to create posts from your homepage or from your newsfeed area. So you can start by typing here in this box to create a post with just text. And as a note, a URL can always be added. And if you would like to add more to your post, if you would like to post 1 or more photos and or videos, you can just click here. And with this, you can of course also add text to it. It's not that it has to be just a photo or a video. It's just these are the 2 options if you want only text or if you'd like to add more. And Facebook, you can upload several photos and videos. It's not as limited as some of the other platforms. Here is a breakdown of a Facebook post for you. So as you can see here, this is from my colleague Julia, and this example, she is promoting the talent pool and asking if others know about it. She's included here a link as well as an image. So it's a good, fully rounded post. It's a good example for you. And these are the different ways in which you can engage with it. So you can like or react in different ways here. The most common is like, the thumbs up, but you can also put a heart or laughing as you like. Then here you can comment on existing posts or on your own posts with this. And so this is different than Twitter. It's not creating a new post, it's just directly below the existing one. You can also reply to or like other comments. So if you put something up about anything and someone comments on it, you can either like what they've said or reply to them and keep that conversation going. And then share is that you share that post from others to your own page. And again, here you have the option to either share instantly without saying anything extra, or you can add your own text on top of it. Then here, this is very important that we ask you to please do once you've created or when you're using your Facebook account next. And this is adding UEG as a favorite. And so this will allow our content to be always prioritized and towards the top of your newsfeed, so you can see and interact with and share it more easily. And the first step here is just so this is your homepage. This is what you would see, this is from my account. So you can see there's always the home icon. That's how you know that you're on the home page. And you then go to the upper right corner and expand this. Then you go to settings and privacy, newsfeed preferences, manage favorites. And as a reminder, please follow us on all the platforms. So if you aren't following us before this, please do so, and then we will appear. And you then go here and search UEG in this little bar. And as step 5, you just put a star by us, and we're then one of your favorites. Next is LinkedIn. Again, there's a URL if you need help creating the account. Here is just a bit of information on what makes a good LinkedIn profile. So we suggest that you write a comprehensive and engaging profile when you're creating it, or if you're updating it, you already have one, but it's maybe fairly simple. And we suggest that you highlight your experience in the about summary, that you complete the experience section, and that you showcase your skills. So really think of it as a CV that's kind of come to life and is online and other people can see, engage with, and choose to connect with you based on it. So as I said earlier, now is not the time to be humble or shy on LinkedIn. It's really completely okay to state everything that you're proud of and that you've done, and it actually helps your profile appear more credible to others who might not know you, but are then interested in connecting with you because of it. And yes, it's just all around a good idea to really list out everything that you would like to there. We also suggest that you include your accomplishments and include your volunteer experience, specifically with UEG. So here's another link for you to access further profile tips. And I'll get more in depth soon about how you can add UEG experience to your profile, UEG volunteer experience. So here is just another overview of how to create posts from your homepage. It's quite similar to Facebook, just has different wording. So it's more or less the same. You can either start typing here to create a post with just text, or you can click photo or video if you'd like to upload one of those, and then add text later. And on LinkedIn, the maximum is 9 photos that you can upload, or just 1 video. And yes, so here is the step-by-step guide of how to, well, first follow UEG, and then how to add your volunteer experience with UEG to your profile. So this is really important because then others can see immediately what your role is when you're sharing our content and when you're creating your own. So you go, this is a profile example. Here's the profile photo and cover photo. And you go here and click on add section. And this will then expand this drop-down menu. And then you go to volunteer experience and just add UEG and add whatever role or roles you have had in the past or actively have with UEG. Then the fourth and final platform that we'll cover is Instagram. And again, another link if you need help creating an account. And so here, the biggest, I guess the most important takeaway from Instagram is that you can create either a permanent post, which will then go to your profile and everyone can see it at any time, or you can create a story, which is a temporary 24-hour post. And so, yes, that's an important difference. The stories can be a bit more fun and lighthearted, and they only stay up for 24 hours. And I feel it's very good to do both because it just adds a more variation to your profile, and it helps you engage with others because the stories can always be seen up here. These are stories, and then the profile posts are in a different area. So first I'll go through the process of creating a permanent post. This is just your home page. You can see again, if you're ever lost in the app or on the website, always look for the little home button and that will take you to your home page. So in order to upload a permanent post, you first would click this small icon with the plus button, and it will then take you to an area where you can see all of your photos. So here, these are two different options. So I'll start with this first one. It's this option or this option. So the first option is that you upload just one single photo or video. And in order to do that, you would have a look here at all of the different content on your phone. And then you would click to select one of the photos, just tap on them, and then you would click next. Or alternatively, if you would like to upload more than one, so for Instagram, you can upload between 1 and 10 photos, and then it cuts you off. So if you would like to upload between 2 and 10 photos or videos, you would then click this small icon here on that same screen, and that will then give you the opportunity to select up to 10. So you will then click, you can scroll through as much as you'd like, and you will then click between 2 and 10. And once you're happy with that, it will look like this. So you can see here, this is what it looks like if you've selected 10 images and videos. And in both situations, whether it's one or more, when you're happy with your selection, you then click next. And after that, this is what you will see once you've selected them. And you have the option of either editing them. So you can easily change the colors, make them a bit brighter, but it's not mandatory. It's however you like. And then you go to the next step. So if you don't want to edit them, that's fine. You just immediately click next. And the next phase of this is the caption and more. So here's where you write the caption that everyone will see. Here you can also tag people, use hashtags, everything like that. An important note is that URLs do not work on Instagram because the caption is always a non-hyperlinked text. So it doesn't make sense to link to anything there unless it's a very simple link that people can remember and type elsewhere. And here it's just better to stick to just text, hashtags, and tagging people. You can also add a location if you like. These are some of my options because I'm here in Vienna, but for you, it will be specific to wherever you are at that time or wherever the photo was taken. And you can search locations as well. So if you're in an exciting new city for a project or for a meeting, you can always add the locations. People can see that. And once you have done that and clicked share, your post is now visible on both your profile, which is here. You can see what the profile looks like. And it's also available in the feeds of your followers. So you can see here on the bottom, this is what you would click to access the profile. And next, I will show you how to make an Instagram story. So these are the 24-hour ones that they aren't permanent, but it's another fun way to engage with your followers. So how this is done, again, this is why it's very important to have the Instagram app in order to have all the features, because you will literally put your finger on this page, on the home page in the middle, and swipe to the left from the home page in order to access all of your story options. So it will then take you to another screen, which looks like this. So this is a photo that I took as an example for you. It's my hand and the website. So now you have several options in terms of uploading your story. The first is to click this white button here to create a new photo. So that's what I did here. I clicked it and then it took a photo. Or you can hold this white button in order to create a new video. So it can go as long as you like. It will break up into several stories, but that's also a nice option if you'd like to quickly show what's around you. It's really a kind of a behind the scenes peek. You can think of it as that way. It doesn't have to be the most perfectly posed photo or video. It can be quite spontaneous. And then the third option is to upload existing content. So in order to do that, you will ignore this white button and you will click in the bottom left here. And this will then let you access all of your photos and videos. So if you don't want to take something right then, you took a nice photo earlier, you're welcome to do it that way. And once you have selected the photo or video that you like, you can then click next. Optionally, you can utilize this tool here with the uppercase and lowercase a, and that allows you to add text and tag others using the @ sign, but it's optional, you don't have to. After that, you then click share. It says your story, you click share, and then you're done. So, tips for good social media posts. You can see here a few examples. We suggest that you keep it short, you be authentic. I mean, as our boards and committee members, you're already very well known, you're very high up in your field and have great connections. So you really, you don't have to be anyone else or try to explain anything differently than how you would in person. It's really your platform to say whatever you like, and people will be thrilled that you're online and engaged with them. So there's no pressure there, just be your authentic self. We also encourage you to be visual. Posts with photos and videos tend to do much better than just text, which is not saying that text is not useful, but also even including a link is good because then it will automatically generate a new photo for you. We encourage you to use an active voice in order to be more engaging and to use hashtags as well as tag other people. So this is a great example. You can see there are different people tagged as well as hashtags here. And so even if UEG is not in the photo or it's not a specific UEG event, if you're putting out anything that you think would be relevant to us or that we would like to share with our followers, please always tag us. You can see here that we're tagged as well as the individuals in the photo themselves. So that's always a great way to go. And we also encourage that you, as I said, include images, videos, and URL, and that when you're sharing something, add your additional input. So you don't need to just automatically repost it. You can also always say what you think in addition to what the original post is. How you can support UEG. This is really the most important part of the whole presentation, is that we really appreciate everything that you do for us in the face-to-face realm, in the day-to-day life in terms of organizing events and planning things as committees. And we would really appreciate your assistance, your voice to be in the social media realm as well. So we ask again that you follow us on all platforms, that you share and like content posted on UEG social media channels. And of course, we understand you're very busy. It's not that we expect you to be online all the time, but just having these profiles and whenever you have time scrolling through, looking at what's there and just sharing one or two things or maybe commenting on it would be great. We also ask that you provide your personal view on UEG's offering. I mean, that's really beneficial. And the great thing about social media is that it allows others to see it no matter where they are. So there could be someone in the US or in the UK that really is so happy to see your name and hear your thoughts on it. We also encourage you to share behind the scenes experiences from a volunteer's perspective, to tag us and use our official hashtags. And again, if you are unsure of anything or you'd like a refresher, to look at the social media guidelines that are available on my UEG, which are linked here. Here are some further links. I'll share the presentation afterwards and you're welcome to view them. So thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate it. And I would open it up now in case there are any further questions at this point. Yes, Axel.
I have one question: how to make it easier if you would like to post things in several of the different social medias. So if I prepared something for Twitter, how can I copy it to Facebook or to Instagram? Is there any option to make it very simple? Sometimes it's easy because you can just link it to something, but sometimes you really have to write everything twice.
Yeah, I understand. So the easiest thing for that with Instagram, you always have the option to post to other platforms. So if you create something on Instagram, it will always give you the option to post on Facebook. And I believe that if you have all of the apps downloaded, it will show all of them as options. So it will say, here, let me go back to show you. It will say on that final part, you can see here. So this is a photo that you've uploaded on Instagram in the final phase of permanent post. And it has here these little switches by Twitter and by Tumblr, and which Tumblr is not relevant, and by Facebook. So if you have the apps installed, it should show you all of the different options. So I don't believe from Instagram you can post to LinkedIn, but at least then that's 3 at once. And then you could just copy the same content on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Okay, great. Are there any other questions from anyone? No? Okay, well, if not, then thank you again very much for joining. I really appreciate you all taking the time to be here today. I'm very happy to see all of your faces. And yes, I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully soon. And we'll send you the presentation.
And to be seeing your social media posts.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much. I think
Marking them with a red pen and show you the mistakes.
thank you very much. I think it was very helpful.
I'm glad. I'm really happy to hear that. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.